G'day, Starlo here. Here I am back chasing trout again. I must admit, I do love my trout fishing, and I've come back to Pejar Dam. I came here a couple of months ago and checked it out for the first time in years, and I caught a couple of rainbow trout, nothing to write home about, but it was a really good little trip. I brought the boat on that trip and just used the electric motor, but looking at it I thought this is just perfect for kayak fishing. So this time I've come back with the native watercraft kayak. I'm going to have a bit of a troll around. I'm going to probably do some casting. The weather's warmed up and the water's warmed up since I was last here, and I'm a bit hopeful I might be able to find one of the bass that New South Wales DPI fisheries have been stocking in here, and hopefully a few more trout, maybe some bigger ones than last time. If you want to have a look at that first visit I made, I'll put the link up here. But let's see how we go today. It's bright, sunny, about 21 degrees, a little bit of breeze. Probably too pleasant to catch fish at the moment, but maybe when the sun gets down a little bit lower, we'll find something. It's just nice being out here on the water. The busy Crookwell Road there with plenty of traffic on it. It's a weekday afternoon. The road's quite busy, but I can't see anyone else fishing. And I'm not knocking that. I've actually got two outfits out now. I'm hand holding one, and I've got one in the rod holder behind me. They've both got floating, diving, hard-bodied lures on them that probably run at slightly different depths. I'd say one might be getting down close to that 3 metre mark, and the other one probably around the 2.2 metres. And I'm just cruising along out in front of the rock wall here, the dam wall. There is an exclusion zone down near the spillway. I'm staying away from that, and I'm just going to have a cruise along here. There's a little bit of floating weed, so I've just got to be careful I don't pick up too much of that on the line. I'll know about it straight away if I get it on the handheld rod, but I won't be so aware of what's happening to the one in the rod holder. So far, the one in my hand is swimming really well. Not too sure about the one back there in the rod holder. But let's see how we go. Just taking it nice and easy, slower than walking pace. I'll try a few different speeds later on. The water's very clear, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if the fish want a little bit of speed in the lure. They'd certainly be able to catch it no problems and see it from a reasonable distance. This is the pump house on the dam, and this sort of structure can be really good for attracting and holding fish, trout and bass. There's not a lot of snags or other structure in this dam from what I've seen. Some rock piles, a few drop-offs, but not a lot of submerged timber or anything like that, so I'm not quite sure where the bass would like to hang out. I haven't got a sounder. I do have one for this kayak, but I thought, what the... Ooh, I just had a bump. Definitely had a bump on this handheld rod. That's interesting. Yeah, I thought I'd leave the sounder at home and just go old tech today. Rely on my eyes and my intuition. Well, that's good that I got a bump. I wonder if I need to go a little bit quicker. The major drawback with not having a sounder is not knowing the exact depth that you're in. As a result, my lures were getting weeded up fairly regularly. But that's okay. I reckon the edges of this aquatic vegetation will likely hold some fish. And I'm quickly getting a mental picture of where the weed beds are. Going electronics free makes you use your powers of observation. I'm just flicking my lure out a reasonable distance and then letting out a little bit more line. You don't need it miles back in a kayak, as I was about to discover. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's an aggro fish. What are you? It's not a bad fish, whatever it is. He absolutely clunked that. I'd say it's a trout from the way it's travelling. Wow, it's gone right past the kayak. It's covering some ground. Ooh. Oh yeah, nice rainbow, I think. Oh, Oh yeah, it's a lovely fish. Had 2 other hits, but this is the first solid hookup I've had. Oh yeah, what a nice fish. I'm running my brim gear, 6-pound braid and a 6-pound leader. I'll put all the details in the description and comments below. Oh, it's a bit bigger than the ones I caught on my last trip here. Not much bigger, but gee, where's that? Full of fight. Oh, no, it's probably about the same size. Might be a little bit fatter. Look at that. It's your lucky day, mate. I kept them last time for the smoker, but I'm going to let them go this time. Wow. What a little football. Do not want to end up with a hook in myself. Can't believe how hard that fish fought. I thought it was going to be a bit bigger than that. Alright. Lures out. Beautiful fish. I'll get him back in the water. Off you go, mate. Whew, off like a shot. Good stuff. The next hour or so passed fairly uneventfully, and eventually I turned off my GoPros to save their batteries. I guess I don't have to tell you what happened next. Yep, I hooked one of the fastest fish I've ever encountered in fresh water. Oh, come on, stay up out of the weed. Gee, these things fight so well. Oh, did I drop him? No. Oh, came at me all of a sudden. Whoa, they're so fast when they... Oh, he's gone into the weed. Come out, come out, come out, come out. Oh, what is that? Is that a bass? Oh, I think it might be. Oh. I'm desperately high sticking, trying to keep this rampaging fish up out of the weed. Oh, it sure is, and it's a cracking bass. Oh, I didn't think there were any big ones in here yet. Oh, wow. I'm stoked. A trout and a bass. It's not a bad bass either. My first Pejar bass. And it's a cracker. Oh, no wonder it took off when it hit it. I do not want to get a hook in my hand. And it'd be very easy to do. I just got him on that little rainbow pattern deep diver. You can see I'm shaking a bit. That thing really went. Look at this. Oh, what a gorgeous fish. It's probably only about, I don't know, 41, 42 to the fork, 43, 44 tips, if that. But fat, oh my goodness, it is. Just have a look at the girth on that thing and the belly on it. Oh, what a cracking fish. Oh, I'm stoked. This is going to be quite a fishery if these things keep growing like that. No wonder he had me in the weed, and no wonder he went so fast. All right, I better get him back in. With the sun sinking, I was hopeful of finding some more action before I ran out of light, so I quickly fired my lure out and started pedaling again, and sure enough... Oh, that was it. Oh, that's a trout. Oh! Trout and a bass within 50 metres of each other. This is quite a unique fishery. I guess there's a few around like this now. Lake Lyell and Lake Wallerawang up at Lithgow, they both have bass and trout. Oh, this is a brown. Whoa! Nearly jumped in the kayak. This is my first brown on this trip. Gorgeous fish. Gosh, beautiful markings. I'm not even going to net him. I'm just going to pick him up. Oh, look at that. I was actually starting to catch the weed and I started flicking the lure and bang, I thought it was another bass for a second. Oh, look at that. This lure is definitely doing the damage. I'll tell you about the lure down below too. Oh, speaking of damage. Oh, gee. Oh, he's got some jaw damage, that fish. I'll have to see if he's going to be worth letting go. Wow, so silvery. He's like a sea trout, sea runner. Amazing. I think I'll keep that fish because I've damaged his jaw. Now, one for the smoker. Oh, so much for my beautiful sunset. As soon as the sun disappeared behind the hills, a nasty little sou'easter sprung up, and it's quite cold too. The wind turbines have turned around completely to face 180 degrees to where they've been facing all day. Can't believe how much the temperature's dropped. Be looking forward to getting off the water. But it ain't ever over while you've got a line in the water. Oh! Paddling back to the boat ramp. I couldn't help myself, had to put the lure out again. What have we got this time? Get the feeling it hasn't sort of woken up yet. It's a rainbow. Oh! No, it's a brown. It's another brown. Whoa! They're lively. I think the browns jump as well as the rainbows, maybe better. I just don't want to get him all tangled up in the net if I can help it, so I'll pick him up if possible. He's doing the brown trout roll now. Huh. Oh, they're stunning looking browns. Now, mate, I'd really like to let you go. Gorgeous fish. They're really nicely marked. Again, though, he's potentially some jaw damage here. Oh, that one came out all right. Come on, mate, I want to let you go. I think I'll keep this one as well. I'd rather keep it and eat it than put back an injured fish. With the cold breeze intensifying, I decided to call it a day and come back first thing in the morning. But I had no complaints. It had been a brilliant few hours. I love this place. Next morning presented a very different picture at first light, with a thick fog shrouding the dam, and it was still rather chilly. I'm glad I brought these socks out. They're really helping to keep my feet warm. I needed to wade to get the kayak in the water, and even though the water's warmer than the air temperature, it didn't take long for my feet to cool down. Alright, I've got to be getting very close to that weed now. I'll just edge back out a little bit. The swallows over the water are a good sign. They're obviously eating insects. It's surprising that there's not more surface activity than there is. I think it's a bait fish dominated fishery. Why are you going to come up and eat tiny little midges and mayflies when you can eat 50 and 60 millimetre long chunks of protein? Traffic's picking up, people heading to work. I know where I'd rather be. I decided to head down and work along the dam wall again, where I could at least see the shoreline. This seems to be a fairly productive area too. Oh, nice fish just rose in front of us. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, I can hear him jumping. Oh, this fish is going crazy. It was only a matter of time. I'd say it's a rainbow, the way it was all over the surface back there. Oh, back that drag off a little bit. I've got bass drag on there. Oh, oh, wow. It's a bit bigger than I thought. We back the drag off too much now. Everything fights so well in here. Oh, it's a brownie. I tell you what. Oh, the browns in here go at least as hard as the rainbows. Usually I find rainbows to be more energetic than browns, but not at Pejar. They're full of fight. Oh, chunky fish. Hasn't given up yet. And the same lure, it just keeps producing. Fat. Such a fat fish. Yeah, I think I'll slip the net under him. Now, come on, mate. I kept two yesterday for the smoker. I'd really rather let you go. Oh, he's got a fin clip too, which is really interesting. That's something they do at the hatcheries to identify different year classes of fish. So he's got a right pectoral fin clipped, this one. Doesn't do them any harm, as you can see from the condition of this fish. Oh, look at that. It's got a bait fish coming out of his mouth. Oh, look at that. Like I said, I think this is a really bait fish dominated fishery. And when there's heaps of gudgeons like that in here, no wonder they're growing so fat and so fast. Oh, I'd like to give you a decent look at this fella. Oh, that lure's nearly out. I might be able to just pop it out while he's still in the net. Doesn't look like there's any jaw damage this time. They just go so hard. Right, lures out of the way. I can show you this fish properly. And there he is. That's my blood on the finger there from the hooks. Alright, let's get him back in, spear him in, and he's fine. So that last brown trout actually spat up both the gudgeon at the top there and a little smelt in the middle. Those seem to be the two major bait fish types, quite different in size and a little bit different in shape. And the lure I'm using is very much matching the gudgeon. I've just found this floating. A lot of people would look at it and say carp. It's actually a goldfish. It's got no barbels. So I know that it's a goldfish, feral goldfish, and not a carp, but still not great to have in here. Bird or something might have got hold of it and hasn't been able to swallow it. Hopefully this great waterway will remain free of the curse of common or European carp, although I'm not too optimistic. In the meantime though, it's an extraordinarily healthy mixed fishery and well worth a visit. But if you go, please do the right thing, respect the place and its fish, and bring all your rubbish home. Thanks. And if you'd like to help me produce more instructional content like this in the future, please consider buying me a coffee or shouting me a beer. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/Starlo to find out how. Until next time, tight lines.